afternoon and welcome to Lightspeed Tonight. A busy week everywhere in the galaxy, but first, let's have a quick check-in with the weather.
Too hot.
Good to know. Last week we got stuck into the topic of pod racing on Tatooine, and I may have voiced some opinions on the management style of the Hutts and their performance as the sport's governing body. Having had the best part of a week to really think about it, I'd say they're actually doing a fine job in difficult circumstances. Pod racing is in excellent hands, and please do not hurt me or my family. Please. Moving on, let's launch straight into the invasion of Naboo, something the Trade Federation could have done instead of just hovering outside it for ages.
It's suggested the Federation's display of strength is largely for show, with their droid army unlikely to be tested in combat. A bigger question mark hangs over the current location of the planet's young queen. Supposedly in captivity, yet allegedly seen away from Naboo entirely. Some have questioned whether she should have seen this coming.
A communications disruption can mean only one thing: invasion.
Our sources suggest that wherever she is, she could appeal directly to the Senate for help.
That's right. At first, we were told they'd captured Naboo's teen queen, which seemed obscene, but she must have escaped like Steve McQueen, as she was then sighted on Tatooine, and later nominating Sheev Palpatine to replace the Chancellor Supreme, which no one could have foreseen. See? A busy week. Now, we've previously discussed the cowardice of one Viceroy Newt Gunray, and he didn't surprise anyone by sending out an army consisting entirely of expendable droids. Apologies to any of our robotic viewers, especially any worried droid parents hoping their little B1 unit makes it home. I don't want to spoil the ending here, but he won't, because they lost the resulting battle. And I don't mean lost like the fine margin of defeat a colourblind man may suffer during a round of Connect 4, I'm talking about an embarrassment on the scale of a colourblind man with a Rubik's Cube. When historians look back on the invasion of Naboo, they'll probably agree that victory slipped away from the Trade Federation's grasp when they decided that all their soldiers should be powered by an off-planet battery ship, literally giving their opponents a giant off-switch to aim for.
An unexpected triumph for the Human Gungan Alliance, with the Trade Federation foolishly putting all their battery eggs into the single basket of a control ship. Their droids certainly looked like chickens when they didn't fight back, and what could have been a bloody battlefield is, instead, a scrapyard.
It probably shouldn't be that easy. World War II wouldn't have taken 6 years if one of the Allies had said, "Hang on guys, maybe one of us should press that big red button on Hitler's back." Now, as I mentioned before, the Senate heard a vote of no confidence in Supreme Chancellor Finis Valorum, and he really shouldn't be too surprised, as having escaped Naboo, Queen Amidala stood before him and said, "My planet has been invaded, please help." To which the Honourable Mr. Valorum replied, "Certainly." Wait, no, he didn't. He said, "Let's just double check your planet's been invaded, just to make sure you didn't imagine that vast droid army. There's a good girl." Amidala, let's not forget, is 14 years old. She should be playing with fidget spinners or taking advantage of the current exchange rate of Nook miles to bells in Animal Crossing. Not having to beg for help deflecting an invasion. Child monarch or not, no one of any age likes being patronised, so naturally she called for a vote of no confidence, to which this was Valorum's reaction.
I move for a vote of no confidence.
He looks like a man who's just remembered he's left the oven on. Which he has if by remembered you mean knows, and left the oven on you mean finally gotten his comeuppance for being in the pocket of the Trade Federation, who aren't going to help him now, and will definitely deny ever helping him in the past. Allegedly. Let's look at that again. You'd almost feel sorry for him. Almost. But what do we know about his replacement, former Senator Sheev Palpatine? In a nutshell, not a great deal. In fact, we could probably fit what we know inside a literal nutshell. We know he's experienced. We know he's got close ties to the judicial department. And we know that for some reason his parents didn't think the name Steve was interesting enough, but that it was in a good area, and they were definitely close to a baby name they could both get behind. So yeah, we may not know much about old Sheevesy, but let's face it, After Valorum, how much worse could he possibly be? More on that next time, but until then, please don't hurt my family, and good night. If you want to see more Lightspeed tonight, then let us know in the comments. And if you really want to see more, then hit that like button as well. Thank you to all Patreon members, and thank you, yes you, for watching.